Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're going to cover virgin territory for comedy. What you've never ever heard before. We're going to talk about the differences between men and women. I mean, that's never talked about by comedians. I mean, you know, like, take Henny Youngman, please. Anyway, not too long ago, a woman in my office got engaged, and other women came from near and far to jump up and down and scream hysterically. I didn't know whether it was an engagement or it was a shoe sale. Now, for guys, it's a little bit different. For guys, a friend gets engaged, you walk up, you shake his hand, you tap him on the shoulder, and you wish him well, kind of like he's going off on a suicide mission. When my son got engaged, I came up to him and I gave him a fatherly hug, and I shook his hand and I said, "Son, remember this day forever, because you will never be right again." Now, another thing I've noticed is women, as they get older, their requirements in a man change. So, for example, a young woman might go out with a guy because he's got a nice car. A woman of a certain age will go out with a guy because he drives at night. A young woman might go out with a guy because he takes her to nice restaurants. A woman of a certain age might go out with a guy because he knows where all the early bird specials are. Another woman, a young woman, might go out with a guy because he remembers all their special occasions. A woman of a certain age will go out with a guy because he remembers her name. And also, before I forget, there's also the young woman that will go out with a guy because he dresses well, and the woman of a certain age that will go out with a guy because he can dress himself. Now, for guys, our priorities in women don't change all that much as we get older. Older men still think they can score with 25-year-old women, but here's a word of advice for all you older men out there who have your eye on a 25-year-old. Your chances are about the same as if you expected to win the lottery without buying a ticket. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. My 90-year-old wealthy Uncle Wilbur is a perfect example. Uncle Wilbur married a beautiful 30-year-old woman, and on their wedding night, they retired to separate rooms. As I said, Uncle Wilbur was very wealthy, and he could afford to have a bedroom for him and a bedroom for her. And she figured, well, I got it made. He'll be asleep before his head hits the pillow. But little did she know, there's Uncle Wilbur jumping into her bed and making violent and wild and passionate love to her, unlike anything she's ever experienced before. And after he gets done, she's thinking, wow, this guy is fantastic and he's got money. A win-win. But she figured that's it for the night. Of course, when Uncle Wilbur showed up for a second time and made even wilder and more passionate love to her, she said, "This is unbelievable. He went twice in one night. That's fantastic. I can't believe my good luck, and I can spend his money." So she thought that was it, but lo and behold, there's Uncle Wilbur a third time. The guy thinks he's got a good thing. So they went at it yet a third time, and she's happy but totally exhausted. So when Uncle Wilbur comes back for a fourth, she says to him, "Sweetheart, you're the best lover I've ever had, but don't you think 3 times in one night is enough?" And he looked back at her and said, "You mean I've been here before?" Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's my time.